All right, we're just going to turn the music off today. All right, let's see who we got. Welcome to the first layer. My name's Richard Cleveland. You saw that come up on a green screen. Don't know why I did that, but it should not have done that. It should have just gone to this camera, but that's okay. It is what it is. Let's say hi to some people in the chat tonight. We've got Tim Postma. We've got Tezza, Golden Jaguar 3D. Welcome, sir. I am going to be picking your brain tonight. Non-fam's here. Tezza's here. I did say Tezza already. There's Nick. My good friend Jeff from the Poor Boy channel. If you haven't checked his channel out, go ahead and do that. Steve Reimer's here, or Steven Reimer. I apologize. That, why is my phone ringing over there? I'm not answering it. But who else we got here? We have Ricky B just became a sponsor. Welcome, Ricky B. And Gary T just became a sponsor. Thank you very much. Thank you. Shadell, my friend from another mother, or my brother from another mother. We've got Devin Bonzer here. Nuno's here. Hey, welcome, Nuno. Yeah, we got the whole gang here. We're just missing a couple, but that's okay. They'll show up. So where am I? If you saw tonight's label, my Klicky, no clicker. Well, I have fixed that. So that was kind of clickbaity, which is something I don't normally do, but it became kind of clickbaity. And I am going to go back and you're at your house. I am at my house. But I am going to go back and answer Tim's question here right away. But I want to quickly talk about this. So I did get the Klicky Probe working. What did I have to do? Well, I could not run it on the Stealth Burner board. Now, whether I'm doing something wrong there or I don't know, but the way that this is hooked up with the Lineo wiring harness that we're using, just for whatever reason, did not send the signal. It was getting 24 volts, it was getting ground, but it was not getting a signal. And there's 3 wires that come off of this PCB Klicky. So to avoid everything, what I did was I just hardwired it all the way back to the board and plugged it into where the probe works. And now we have a probe that recognizes when it's on and that sort of thing. And I'm going to show you guys that here right away. But I do want to, I want to pick some brains here tonight. Devin says, just got TPU from Ninja Tech Armadillo. Love the Armadillo. It is not as soft as you think it's going to be, Devin. I just want to make you aware of that. It's not as soft as you think it's going to be. Let's go back and answer Tim's question. He says, how big should a 3D printer build size be before aiming for industrial 3D printers like the Modex or the Gigabot? Just wanted to double check, correct me if I'm wrong, if 14 inch by 14 inch or larger is better to aim industrial. Well, that depends on your needs. Creality and several other companies put out 500 by 500 build volumes, but not a lot of people bought them. You can still find them, but they're not a big seller for them. The 300 by 300 or 12 inch by 12 inch work just fine. 14 inches, you're getting into about that 350 range, 350 millimeter range. We have one of those in a Voron down here. We're going to be refurbishing. But at the end of the day, where does that leave you? Well, it kind of leaves you with the problem of, do you really need that big? And do you have the space to use it? So I think that if you want to go into industrial, Modex is definitely the way to go. So, Devin says, have I printed or opened it up yet? I have printed with Armadillo. I do find that it's very stiff. It doesn't have flex like the Cheetah does. So something to be aware of. Did I have the right pin assigned? Yes, I did have the right pin assigned, Nuno, I did. I double, triple, and quadruple checked that. I had a couple of people on Discord with me. We went through all the pin setups, but now things are working the way they should. And I'm going to show you that here right away. We're going to bring up that part. Now, the problem where I am encountering, as I'm going through these last minute checks before I go through and do the final setup on there. Hey, there's Joseph Jolly. Welcome, Joseph. It's been a while. Thank you for coming by and being a part of the show tonight. I know that we have some experts in here, and I was looking for hard TPU for bike handlebar grips, custom. Devin, I think you're going to find that the Armadillo is a little too hard. To be honest with you, I think you're going to find it a little too hard. But let's not quibble over that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to this screen right here, and I'm going to put myself in the corner. You can see I'm up in the corner there now. Let's just put me over on this side. That's better. Yeah, that's better. I'm pretty small, but that's okay. I'm going to switch down to here, and we're going to put me in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. I'm such an idiot. There we go. There we go. I'm up in the corner now. I'm up in the corner now. All right, let me get back to the screen that I was looking at here. All right, so here's our screen. Let me look at the Devin bonded extruder from Germany has some hard flex TPU. That is great, okay. Tim Postma says, I heard TPU is not like Nerf unless it's in vase mode for regulated war games. Correct me if I am wrong, and if I am wrong, what do you need to do so? Depends on what TPU you're using. There's several different TPUs out there. They're all very flexible. There's flexible PLA, which is very soft as well. So it's all going to depend on what your use case is for. I wouldn't use Armadillo. Absolutely, I wouldn't use Armadillo. But for anything Nerf related, unless you're putting it on a grip, it does have a little bit of a slippery feel to it. But I would probably use, the Cheetah if I was going to use anything, because that's sort of a good halfway point. It gives you enough movement. So here we are. Let's go over to this screen. You can see my mouse is here. So where are we? Well, our light, as you can see, well, you can't see unless I switch cameras here. Let me switch cameras to camera 3 here for a second. You can see we have the light on our stealth burner is lighting up, but our lights down here do not light up yet. That's a minor issue. I'm not too worried about that. We did have a failure on our heating bed when we wanted to do a PID tune today. So that's something I'm going to probably pick the expert brains on. But I don't know if it's a wiring issue. I don't think it is. And then we've got our Klicky. So let's first and foremost head back over to camera 4 here. And we will turn ourselves on up in the corner. And, okay, let me see. Hello. Hey, there's David. Welcome, David. Just attached, but I'm here. Okay. All right. All right. So, David Vera, are you distracted by strippers at the moment? All depends. All depends. Yeah, I don't know what strippers you guys are watching, but okay. All right, so let's get into this real quick. And you can see my hand there. It comes on screen, blah, blah, blah. There we go. All right, so let's go and home this first and foremost. So it's going to go through its homing routine. And it arbitrarily switches colors. Go back to camera 3 here so you can see what's going on. It arbitrarily switches colors. So now it's doing its Z. It's done its Z. So, or Z, depending on who you are. So now I'm going to go to the quad gantry level, which is the QGL, and it will go over, grab our Klicky, come down, and start to do our quad gantry level. And you can see that it's going on there. And this shouldn't take long to do. But where we're running into a problem is when we go to do a PID tune on the bed. And I'm going to fire one of those up here right away so you guys will be able to see what's going on. I should probably make myself a little bigger up in that corner. Once it finishes this routine, of course, it's going to go and it's going to park the little Klicky probe. Now, this is the PCB Klicky probe that I'm using. And I have not yet set up a macro to send the print head to the center of the bed, which is something else that I have to do. So now it's done the routine, and there it goes. Parks it where it should park it. All right, so that is all good. So we'll go back here to camera 4. We can see that everything is the way that it should be. Now, if we go down into the macros here, we can see that we have the attach macro, the attach probe lock, dock probe unlock. I'm not sure what all those are, but I will probably get there. There's my logos. But I do not have center of the bed macro set up. I'll figure that out. Builded Basements here. Hey, welcome, Kermit. Welcome, welcome. So all of my fans are off. I don't know why there's a green dot here by the BTT Mini. We don't have one hooked up. We don't even have our other monitor here hooked up either. So let's go in. Let's start doing a PID tune on the bed. So I'm just going to go over here, and we're going to do we're just going to copy the PID tune. And now we'll go back. We'll put it up here in our, it does want us to put the head in the center of the bed. So maybe we'll do that. We'll just, we'll bring that bed to, oh, there we go. We're going to bring it right to the center at 150 by 150. And I think I have to go plus here. Yep, I do. Okay. Trying to remember which way this all goes. And it would like us to come down to 10 above the bed. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, we're going up. Sorry. We need to go down. We're going to go down here. Bump, 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 and finally. Okay. So we're at 10 millimeters above the bed. Hey, there's Marcel. Welcome, Marcel. Build it basement. You can type in 50 by 50. Yeah, I'll get there. Where does the excess change go after the maker faire from current donations if you exceed? I'm not sure what your question is there. Money that is raised for charity from Maker Faire goes into funding STEM research, and I believe some of it goes to the Rotary Club or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but none of it goes into my pocket. I can tell you that. First, all the bills have to be paid. All right, so we're there, and now we are just going to paste that in here, and we are going to start our PID tune. And what you're going to notice is that the fan comes on, and it goes awfully slowly. Yeah, there's usually no money left over. Um, I know this year we're struggling to make ends meet, but we are going to do what we have to do. I'm not in charge of the financing. That's not my department. So you can see that we're going up. We're now at 34, 35, but our heater is only at 60%. Okay, so you can see here it's at 60%. When I did this earlier today, this took about 10 minutes. It got up to about 90 degrees, and then I ended up with a failure. And I'm wondering if I'm going to get that failure yet again tonight. If I do, you guys are going to know, because we're going to be talking about that. But why am I getting that failure, and why is it going so slow? We're at 40 degrees now. Again, it's only heating up at 60% of state. I wonder if this had something to do, because we've been running now for about a minute. About a minute. That's normal, Build It Basement says, okay. It's heating up very slow, Nuno says. Yeah, it is. It is heating up very slow. We're at 45 now. Oh, you're talking about the 60%. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. You need to increase max power to the bed section, Nuno says. Okay. And I was advised against that. Nuno, what do I need to increase that to? Because I know it's going to end up timing out on me. Like, we're not even at 50 degrees yet, and we've been at this now for about 2 minutes. You might check. You might to check heater. Well, the bed's heating up. Can you please start an hour or two earlier than today's start? It would be appreciated, kind sir. I would love to, Tim, but I work until 3 o'clock during the day, my time, so that's 5 o'clock your time. Then I have to have a little bit of time off for myself, have something to eat, and then get started. This is not going to carry on throughout the week. We are just going to go to Sundays again. As soon as this is done, we're going to Sundays. But yeah, that's where we're going to call it a day. Do you have a bed fan? David's asking. Are you talking about the fans here on the side? One of them is going right now, yes. One of the intake fans is going, yes. Not both of them. As soon as that bed starts to heat, that fan comes on. It does seem a little slow, but 60% is normal for the new build with a new bed. If you go too hard, you'll warp the bed. I've heard that. I set mine to 0.8 for a 350 bed. Okay, so once this fails, because it is going to fail, we're only at 56% right now. Or 56 degrees, pardon me. 56 degrees is what we're at. I set mine to 0.8 for a 350 mil bed. Okay. Do you have a bed fan? A fan that is underneath the bed? No. The only fan that is running is the intake fan right on the side. Let me go back to the front camera here, or I'll just turn it. Bring this down. Back to camera 3. Okay, so what we're seeing here is this fan right here is running near the back of the bed. This fan is not running because I didn't put them together yet. I haven't put them. Mine's at 60% and it heats up way faster, Nuno says. Okay. Yeah, so Golden, this is the fan that is on right now. Should this fan not be on? I guess. Can you confirm that you have a proper thermistor selected? That could be my issue. I'll bet you that's exactly what my issue is. Okay, let's stop this. So we're going to do emergency stop. Yeah, the bed is warm. Absolutely, it's warm. Restart. Firmware restart. There we go. And I will bet you're probably right. I have the wrong thermistor on there. Let's go into our printer config and go down to our heated bed. Extruder, bed heater. So we have an ATC Semitech 1004 GT-2, and I believe that is not the right one. Okay, let's see what I'm just. Okay, can you confirm? On those are cooling electronics bay. Okay, feel the bed with your hand. I did. 50-50. I saw that on Twitter. A glass bed blew up. Wow. What bed heater do you have? I actually have a Kinovo bed heater on this guy. There's a Kinovo bed heater on this guy. All right, let's go back to here. So what we have here is we have the Semitech listed here. I believe that's the wrong one. I think I'm going to have to find what the thermistor, if anybody knows it offhand. But this is a Kinovo heater. Let's see what we get. Ah, okay, so it should be an NTC 100K. Let's see what Kinovo says. And this one is I believe this one's 280, 600 watt 120 with built-in thermistor. Okay, so it does have an NTC 100K, so I have to change that. Excuse me. So when I'm using a 100K, I just want to make sure that I have the proper thermistor set. Where are my thermistor settings? So this is wrong. So I am going to have to change that line right there. All right, that says save and exit. All right, let's see what happens. Is it going to throw me an error? It did not. Well, let's go ahead and PID tune. Don't forget, thank you for your sneeze, woke me up. Sorry, Tim, didn't mean to. Tim Postma, you mean volts. it's an AC bed. Yeah, it's an AC bed. It's 24 volts. 24 volts. All right, so let's go back to the dashboard. Let's see if we can do that again and see if it heats up any faster. Oh, it's climbing much faster now. Much faster. We're already at 53%. Yeah, I've set the power supply to the correct voltage. Yes, 110 or 115. I've set mine to 115. We're at 58 degrees. $60 degrees. Now we're slowing down again. Yeah, we're at, it should only take like 2 or 3 minutes to get here, and then it does the PID tuning. I've already been able to do the PID tuning on the head, but yeah, that bed's warm. Oh yeah. It's about 60 degrees. Okay, let's see what, there's nothing being said. Okay. All right, so if this is my issue, if the NTC thermistor is my issue, which I believe it probably is, then, so it's been 2 minutes now, we're only at 67 degrees, 69 degrees. I'm sorry. It is jumping up fairly slowly here. Maybe I should put myself down there. And we will, oh, we're up at 70 now. Let's see where we get to and see if it gives me a PID tune calibrate interrupt or interrupted again. Because I got up to 89 degrees before. Via the SSR. I'm not sure what you mean via the SSR. We're at 73 degrees. We've been at this for 3 minutes now. We've hit 75, so we're 75% there. I know my hot end didn't take nearly this long, but I do know that these beds take a little bit longer to heat up. That's for sure. But I have a funny feeling it's going to crap out on me again. Nuno says, mine takes about 10 minutes to go from ambient temp to 110 degrees. Interesting. Poor boy, mine takes a while to heat up to 60. Or heat up at 60%. Okay. Well, let's see if we actually get there. It shouldn't take, I don't think it should take that long, because I know earlier today it took about 10 or 15 minutes for it to only get to 90 degrees. And that's when it crapped out on me. So we've hit 80 degrees now. I'm going to keep monitoring this. Trying to get to its target. How hot are we? Oh yeah. There's some warmth there. There's some warmth there, that's for sure. Now this is going to be something that I want to ask about to you guys. Bill that says you're fine, okay. Well, we'll see when we get to 90 degrees if it flakes out on me again. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't. But with that fan running through the electronics bay right now, it sure has reduced the temperatures on my MCU and my SoC. That's a thick plate. It is a thick plate. This is the plate itself is 10 mils. Plus, you've probably got another mil or two. A total of 3 mils between the flex plate, the removable flex plate, and the magnet. So you're looking at about 13 mils in total. Let's just have a look. We'll see. Ow! Don't hold your finger there too long, Mr. Cleveland. Well, total we're right around 14 mils. Yeah, it's a 10 mil plate, that's for sure. With the magnet and the flexible build plate on there, we're right around 13, 14 mils. We're at 86% now. %. So let's see if we actually get past the 89% that we ran into earlier. But yeah, that's getting pretty friggin' warm, yeah. Nuno says maybe need to up the max power slightly since it's way thicker than the bomb bed. That could be. That could be. We're at 88.5. I know this is pretty boring right now, but this is where we're at in the build. I mean, once I get through these normal calibrations of the first starting, then we can go ahead and calibrate the E steps. We can go ahead and start putting stuff through by like 5% or so. Okay, we'll try that next. So we have hit 90% or 90 degrees. And we've been at this now for almost 10 minutes. This has been almost 10 minutes heating up. Almost 10 minutes. The spec for the bomb bed, I think, is 8 mils, if I'm not mistaken. 8 mils, I think, is the spec on the bomb. 6 mils, 6 millimeter. Okay, so we're already almost twice as thick as a spec bed. I thought it was 8 mil for some reason. I seem to remember 8 mil being my first one. Can you hear those fans? That fan is pretty loud. I'm going to have to work on that. I have to work on that one. But this is where we are in our build right now. I mean, the build itself, I don't think it's a bad build. I'm pretty happy about it so far. I'm so close to printing something. I hope by Sunday I'm going to be printing something. I'm so close to printing something. I didn't take you guys along the journey for everything that I did on this. And that, I mean, at the end of the day, you've seen it a million times for most of you. When I start doing the upgrades on the other one that we have here, when we strip it all down, or when I strip it all down and start doing the upgrades, I'm going to do those as episodes. I'm not going to do those as live streams. There may be a live stream in between it once in a while, but for the most part, it is going to be just, hey, it's Mike. Mike, thanks for subscribing, Mike. It's Mike. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. But yeah, so when we go and do the other one, we're going to move forward. Where are we? We're at 96.4%. Geez, we're almost there. You guys got me thinking now. I may need more power myself. I don't know. I'm going to defer to Build It Basement on this. I wish Steve was here, but he's not. Welcome, it's Mike. Mike. PID shouldn't fall unless the temp doesn't move. We're at 97.6, 97.7. We are getting there. I wonder if it's going to time out on me, because it interrupted last time, and I think that could have been due to the fact that I had the wrong thermistor in there, because it was showing the same thermistor that is in the hot end, and it shouldn't have been. It should have actually been a different one. So we're at 98.8. We're going to get there. PID into, or you have a wiring or thermistor issue, Nick says. Do you have air flowing down from above? No, I do not. Golden, there's no vents above me. Nothing. There's no vents above me. We're at 99.9. Okay, we reached 100%. And now it's dropping to 95, and then it's going to bump itself back up. Rich, I would consider going up to 65 or 70, but I wouldn't go much past that until you have a few dozen heat-cool cycles. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. The bed is, the bed's 10 mils thick. That's for sure. So the bed is thicker. And this is an LDO bed, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Kermit? I don't want to go too high because I don't want to warp this bed. Tom Taylor says, I just looked at PID settings and you changed the P number to get more power. Okay. Golden, okay, if that's the case, then that it? Mr. Everyone relax, I'm here. Hello there, Tim, welcome, welcome. Golden says I should increase it to 70 or 80%. Okay. We'll find out where to do that. Right now it's just doing its PID tune. So we'll let that finish. For a thicker bed like this. Okay. Cotton, we need more power. Well, that would be Mr. Scott. We need more power. But Cotton, I can't give you any more power than that. Lithium crystals just won't take it. There you go. That was just for you, Nick. Mr. Scott, if we don't get more power soon, it will fail and we'll be stranded in space. 0.7 in your config. Okay. So as soon as this finishes doing its PID tune, set phasers to kill. Okay, we're going to go in there and we're going to find that bed max power, and we'll do that after the PID tune is done. Then we'll run that PID tune one more time. Marcel, she's going to blow. We did actually get to the heat that we were looking for. This is the heat you're looking for. Yes. All right then. All right. Why do I let you guys make me do stuff like this? I don't know. I don't know why I let you guys make me do stuff like this. How cool is the room? The room is actually pretty warm, to be honest with you. It's about 20 degrees Celsius in here. 20, 21 degrees Celsius in this room. It looks like it's going to do what it is meant to do. Look at that. These are not the PIDs you seek. Well, they won't be if I go and increase the power to make this go faster. I'll have to redo this PID tune. I'm pretty sure. Then I'm going to have to do a bed mesh at some point as well. I don't know if we're going to get to that tonight, but we are going to have to perform a bed mesh on this. I've done the quad gantry. Oh wow, you can really feel the heat coming off that bed. Holy Christmas. That's going to heat up that chamber quite a bit. Shadell, welcome to Infill. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for becoming a member, Shadell. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. That does help a lot. We're going to keep this show going as much as we can. I know it's during the week, and I try not to do these things during the week because I know they can be a bit of a pain. So I want to keep these. We'll go back to doing our regular stuff after Maker Faire, which is coming up in 4 weeks. In 4 weeks' time, I will be at Maker Faire Calgary, along with my good friend Tim from Dwit 3D Canada. We are going to be having fun, and I need to get this guy done in time to take it against his P1P. He's got some things he wants to do, and I'm not sure. I thought that running bed power less than 100% was a bit of a myth. Mike, I don't think so. It shouldn't. You should never hit 100% power on that bed, because especially with the beds that you're going to find on your standard printers, like your Crealities and printers like that, those are all rolled beds. They're not cast beds like these ones. So they'll warp a lot faster, and they'll warp permanently. Okay, PID done. It did do its PID. So it just took quite a while to get up to that temperature. Wow. So now it's going down to 0. That fan's going to stay on. All right, so we need to go and do the save config fan _config. There we go. And it'll shut down and restart. Build basement doing mine. I'm at 3 minutes 20 to 70 degrees. Okay. Nuno says they don't have that problem. Okay, there's nowhere as power as the AC. Okay. That's with your enclosed printer. Okay. Now remember, this is an open printer. So let's go into the machine. We're going to have to go into our printer config, which is right there. And now we have to find our max power. So that'll be Control F. And we are looking for max power, if I'm not mistaken. Bed max power, yeah. Oh, bed. Max underscore power. Oh, well, that's not it. Let's just go down to that heater section for the bed. That should be where we find it, right? Max power is 0.6, so if I take that to 0.7, let's take that to 0.7. Max temp is 120, min temp is 0. Is the bed on yours, Dwit, as thick as this? Because this is a 10 mil bed. Oh. Save and restart, that's what we need to do. I put it to 7. So I'm going to allow this to cool down. So I did put it to 7. Right now it's still at 82 degrees. It's going to take a while for this bed to cool down. Now the other thing I haven't done on this yet, I'm just going to pull this off. Whew! Whew! That is warm. That is warm. Is all of these are still sort of tightened down. This one should be the only one that's tight. It is. Because we want this to have a little room to expand, right? There we go. We left one tight, and the other ones all are just a little bit loose. Yeah, watch that bed, Mr. Cleveland, because it is hot. Whew, that's warm. Okay, build a basement 100 degrees from 20 degrees, 7 minutes, 50 seconds. Okay. Well, then I will go back in and change that to 6.5. Let's go back in and change that to 6.5 then. And we won't go up to jump by 10 degrees. We'll just jump by the 5 degrees. That'd probably make more sense. Of course, I passed it. Heated bed. So we're at 7. Let's go back to 6.5. Save and restart. So your bed is 10 mils thick. Okay. Bill that has an 8 mil bed. Okay, so from 20 to, yeah, okay. Once the, oh, max power in section heater. Oh, so it's not going to allow me to do. Okay, I did 6.5. Should it just be 6.5 or 6.5? Because I did 6.5. 6.5, pardon me. I wonder if it's the decimal that is causing the issue. It will be the decimal that is causing the issue. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, delete that. Try this again. As in 65%. Okay. So it's marking it as percentage. Gotcha. Gotcha. So it is marking it as a percentage. You're asking it to go 650. Okay. Let's go back to the dashboard. Yes, it is going to 65% now. You're asking it to, yeah. No, I don't need it to go to 650%. Build a basement at 0.65. The solid state relay will pulse the AC to the heater as much as 65% of the time, off 35%. Crank it to 11. Yeah, I'm not going to crank it to 11. This isn't that kind of show. We're not a rock show, you know. I'm wearing my LDO Motors shirt tonight because I want to thank LDO Motors for sending over the motors and all the fasteners that we used in this build. Yeah, this one goes to 11. There's a new movie where something goes to 11.5. That's from This Is Spinal Tap, actually. Crank it to 11. Why does it go 11? Because 11's better than 10? 11's better than 10? Let's go back here. Yes! Classic movie. Yes, it is a classic movie. I love that movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. Some of you guys may not remember a movie. Gold star for you. Some of you guys may not remember this movie, but Tim might remember it because he's in my age group, and maybe a couple of you other guys are in my age group as well. I remember a movie called FM. If you're not familiar with that movie, it was sort of a concert movie. Which had sort of a plot to it. And it was all about radio. There was music from Steely Dan in that movie. There was music from Journey in that movie, I believe. There was music from Linda Ronstadt in that movie. There was just a ton of artists from that time that were in that movie. It was probably one of my favorite movies ever, and it is so hard to find that movie. Saw it at a theater, Tom Taylor says. I saw it at a theater as well, FM. One of my, Q Sky Radio was the radio station from that movie, and it all took place in Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken. It's been so long since I've seen that movie, but it's probably one of my favorite movies about radio. Actually, that was the movie that sort of piqued my interest into getting into radio. I loved it. And that's why I went into radio. Because I wanted to be a cool disc jockey. And yeah, I was cool, all right. How are we doing here? We are at, okay, yeah, this heated up way faster because it takes a long time to cool that bed down, let me tell you. Yeah, there are definitely some movies that haven't gone to digital and streaming. If there was a movie about a record store, I absolutely loved it. If there was a movie about a radio station, I loved it. Private Parts, while I enjoyed the movie, wasn't one of my favorites. I'm not a huge Howard Stern fan. But yeah, not a huge Howard Stern fan, although I do like some of his stuff. I'm not a huge Howard Stern fan. Dwit says 4-point mount can cause problems depending on loose or tight bed bolts. You're hearing the bottom of the, yeah, okay. I did actually loosen those up. I did actually loosen those up. So I only have one that's really tight now. The Aristocrats. Are you talking about the Disney movie, Nick? Oh, okay, he's talking to Tim about his tap. No. The Aristocrats. The Aristocrats. Why do I know that movie? That's about Disney was the Aristocats. Yeah, that's right. The Aristocrats. Wasn't that a con movie? Like they were conning people. Yeah, it's a bunch of comedians telling really dirty. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. No, I'm thinking of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Yeah. No, I know exactly what movie you're talking about now too. Yeah. Another guy that I miss from back in the day is Andrew Dice Clay. He had some very, very dirty jokes, but I kind of liked his stuff. Like The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, one of the few movies that he headlined. Great movie. Great movie. So, I think we've got this pretty much sorted. So now we should be able to move on to the next steps. Yeah, I think we're almost ready to move on to the next steps, which, now that we've done our PID tuning, would be, what is our next step? We're just going to let that thing go for a few minutes because, okay, so bed leveling we've done. Quad gantry leveling, so we've done all that. We need to set a Z offset. So that's what we're going to have to run a G28 and then quad gantry level and then another G28. Okay, so once this is done, we'll do that. Z end stop calibrate. Well, we have to fine tune our Z height. Fine tune. I don't think we have any baby stepping on here yet. Extrusion E steps. The Kings of Comedy, very good. Yeah, I love that one. Bed mesh. Yeah, I haven't done a bed mesh yet, Tezza. That's something I'm going to have to do. Yeah, build it basement Kermit. I'm considering the K1 myself. So where are we now? We do have to do a bed mesh yet, which we haven't done. Right now it's just going through another PID tune. I just want to make sure that it's stable. I guess then you have a set of backup parts. Yeah, you would if you reprint everything. I'm going to be reprinting everything for the rebuild on that 350 that's down on the floor, that Voron 350. Tim says, if you're going to use autoz.config, which is great for calibrating Z offset, you're in for a fun time. Bed mesh should be part of your start macro. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I'm quite there yet. AutoZ works great once you get it working. If you want a great Aussie comedians, try Adventures of Baza McKenzie. Baza McKenzie. Okay, I'll have to look for that one. I love Aussie comedians. I really do. And this light keeps changing color. Whenever it does something new, it just changes color and it stays on that color. So I've got to figure that one out. Golden Jaguar has an excellent video for setting up AutoZ. Okay, I will have to look at that one. I have a 4-point bed mesh, Nick says. Not PG either. Good. I don't have any kids. I don't have to worry about that. I can have as much X-rated stuff in my house as I want. As much X-rated stuff as I want. Is AutoZ hard to set up? I'm currently running my Trident with the probe for the end stop. Okay. Interesting. I don't know, Nuno. I really don't know. I'm just okay, the PID tune is done, so let's go ahead and save that configuration. Let it cool down. Yeah, I'm not very imaginative. If you notice the name on this, let me go back to camera 4 here for a second. If you notice the name on this printer, it's just BTT CB1. I haven't changed the name yet. I will change the name at some point, but I haven't done it yet. I will get to that at some point. But okay, so Clipper. Let's go ahead and do a firmware. Let's do a full restart, and then we'll do a firmware restart. I love your camera. Was it hard to add? No, the camera actually was not hard to add. As soon as I plugged it in, it came up. And the camera that I'm using is just a Logitech C270, very inexpensive, like a $20 camera. I plugged it into the board through the USB. I went into the crow's nest config, which, let me just pull it up here so you guys can see it. And all I simply did was I changed the resolution from 1280 to 7 by 720 because it was set to 640 by 480. So I did set it to its actual resolution. I am sticking with 15 frames, even though this camera will do 30 frames a second. I think for the most part, I'm going to leave it at 15 because I don't think I need it. It's only for observation anyway. So when I'm away from the house or anything like that, I think that's all I'm going to really use it for. So let's save and restart that. All right, so let's go back to our dashboard. But sometimes the camera just doesn't come up right away. So if I close it and then open it, it should come up. Maybe. Maybe. Just do a full firmware restart. All right, let's have a look, see what's going on here. Was a little convoluted when I set it up a long time ago, Nuno says. I have 3 Logitechs in drawers doing nothing, so might do one on the Trident. There you go. It was very easy to set up. Yeah. The macros part of this is not something I understand very well, but I will get there. So where am I now in this? So I've now done, what have we done here? We have done the bed leveling, which has been done. So just to make sure that we are in the right headspace, let's just do a G28, which is just going to be, you see it changed color again. Change color again. We're just going to do that G28. Boy, that fan gives a pretty big whine. I'm going to have to do something about that. All right, we're going to do a quad gantry level. Go through and do its thing. Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about the way this has turned out to this point. There's a couple of minor things I still have to do. I still have to get this monitor down here hooked up. So I can have my clipper screen. I still have to get this hooked up. So have clipper screen once that happens. My deviance, when I did the probe, what do they call that? The probe test in the center of the bed. My standard deviation was 0.002179, so I'm well within that spec. My probe deviation, there it goes. Boom, park it. Let it go. Good enough for me. All right, so we've got that done. Let's move on to what we have to do next. And we've done the quad gantry level. So we need to do the Z offset adjustment. So it says set your extruder to 245 and your bed to 100. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll set this to 100. And we'll set this to 245. And let's see what happens. Ooh, you've got the Euclid. Yeah, it's probe accuracy. I did do the probe accuracy. So now we're going to get it up to our temperatures. We're going to let it sit there for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to move on to what it says for us to do next, which will be run Z calibrate. So Z end stop calibrate. That's what we have to do then. My warp dilithium probe. I got a 0. You got what? On the optical tap, you got a 00016, David says. Nuno got a 0012. Mine came out as a 0021. Okay. Dwit's, Dwit's dilithiums are working out much better. You guys see my big head in the way when I do that. Tap is pretty amazing. I don't know if I'm going to do tap on the 350. I might do the tap on the 350. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do the tap on the 350? Yeah, 2 microns is nothing. Yeah, 2 microns deviation is nothing. I agree with you on that one. Probably only going to go for about another 20 minutes here, and then we're going to call it an evening. Whip them out, compare them. I have it on my 350. It's Mike says. You've got a tap on your 350. Poor boy went with a tap. All right then. All right then. Yeah, by the time Sunday rolls around, when I do ask for help this Sunday, the screen will be up and running. And I might have this just pushing a little bit of plastic on Sunday while we answer questions about 3D printing. Because that's what Sunday is all about. It's all about answering your questions about 3D printing, materials, hardware, and software. And that's what I want to do on Sunday. I did find out, fingers crossed, that my stuff that was supposed to be for this machine will be here tomorrow or Monday from Big Tree Tech. A little bit late, but that's okay. We're going to take all of those products that they sent us for this build, and we're going to put it into the rebuild of the 350. Once this is ready to go and Maker Faire is out of my hair, then this guy is going to start printing all of the parts for that. Maker Viking, hello, sir. Welcome. Welcome. Where we are is we did our PID tune. Right now we're just heating things up a little bit because we are going to be running our Z offset adjustment. That's what we're going to be doing right now. We're not quite at temperature on the bed. We're just about there. So we'll let this stabilize for a couple of minutes. Yeah, the state is actually pretty cool. I'm watching it jump from 23 up to 70 on the extruder, and then from about 47 up to about 60% on the heated bed. The board itself is sitting at around 40 degrees, and the CB1 is sitting at right around 37 degrees. So that's all right. That's all right. So we'll give that a couple of minutes. And what do they want us to do here? I'm just going to move you up here so I can see what we're talking about. Going to print my serial plaque for the Trident now. Nuno says, you got a serial number for yours? Serial requests, is it worth it? Like, really, what does a serial request do for you? Other than give you a serial number and put your stuff in here. Hey, Shadell 3D. Or did I miss you earlier? I hope I didn't miss you earlier. So, Nuno, what does the serial number do for you? Somebody tell me, because I know, Tim, you haven't applied for any serial numbers on yours either, have you? You get access to the super secret area on the Discord. Oh, all right. There's a super secret area? All right. Ask for one, and when you get it, open the Voron Discord, and you'll see some differences. Ah ha ha. Okay. All right. All right, so we have preparation. So now we need to do our home all again. Let's do that now that we're all set up here. There we go. go over this camera here. And now we'll do our quad gantry level. Because it tells us to do that. There's quite a lot more channels, okay. All right. I don't deal with a lot of the channels anyway. I am a member of the Discord, but I don't deal with a lot of the channels anyway, but maybe I should. Who knows? So once this is done, we'll do another G28, then we'll run a bed mesh clear, and then we'll run a Z calibrate, a Z end stop calibrate. Not sure what they're there for. Okay. Maybe you're allowed to get into the PIF? Who knows? Do you become part of the PIF program, or? All right, so now we're going to run another G28. We've got our temperatures all up. Let's run a bed mesh clear. Now, Z end stop calibrate. So this is for the Voron Zero, Trident, and V2. Oh, you need a zero. You do need a serial to apply for PIF. Get you on the step closer to a master mason. Ah, okay. There you go. All right, so let's run the Z end stop calibrate. Okay, so it says slowly move the nozzle forward the bed using test Z -1 until the nozzle is relatively close to the bed. So the nozzle is relatively close to the bed. But don't you need this to be in the center of the bed? Home it first so it's near the middle. When I do a home, it doesn't go to the middle. I don't have that ability to go to the middle. Is that something I'm missing? Is that something I am missing? It's not in there. It should. Let me check my config. Hey, there's Duff. Hi, Duff. Bum, bum, bum. It won't be there. It won't be there. Tezza, safe homing. Yeah, I just got to remember where that is. Is it under Klicky variables? Variable Z safe, true. Bed is that size, okay. That's where my probe is. That's where my docking is. Okay, we've done that. Because I know if, what's the build size? It is 300 by 300. I'm trying to find where it is, because it's no longer being used in the printer config, because I had to comment all that out because of the Klicky Probe. Just let me go down to that area. Come on now. Yeah, Z-Safe homing, I've had to near line 67. Mike says G0, 150, 150. There we go. There we go. It's moving into the middle now. So it's in the middle now. Klicky variable config. Okay, let's go into the Klicky variable config. Line 67, variable park. It says variable park toolhead false. Enable toolhead parking. That's 67 is my X. So that should be 150, not 125, correct? Variable park position X, variable park position, location to park the tool head. Said earlier in the docs you had to remove it. Yes, now you can put it back. Location to park the tool head. My settings are true, 150, 150, 30. Okay, so mine is false, so I have to change that to true. True. 150. 150. And 30 is fine. Okay, let's save and restart. Oh. Okay. Get that back up to temp. And this back up to temp. That should home you to the middle of the bed. Don't forget to like, okay. So if I home this all, it's homing the X, Y, and Z. Yeah, I'm just kind of, I'm still a little bit confused on what's going on here. Oh, okay, so it went to the center of the bed, right where we wanted it to go. Okay, thank you for that, Tim. So then we'll do this one more time as they recommended. There's my Klicky, goes to the center. Oh, that's interesting. See how this keeps changing color when it does a new action? It's kind of weird. I'm gonna have to, I don't know how to program that yet, but I'll get there. Is that the PCB Klicky? Yes, it is. It is the PCB Klicky. It's supposed to change colors, LOL. Yeah, but for everything that it does, I thought it had specific colors for specific things. Is it CAN bus? No, this is not CAN bus on this one. When I do the upgrade on the 350, or the rebuild on the 350, that one will have CAN bus, I believe. That one will have CAN bus because I believe that's coming with all that stuff, the 5-inch touchscreen, the CB1, the Manta M8P, the drivers, and the CAN bus. Tim says he doesn't understand how to do it either. All right then. Great. All right, so there we go. And we'll just do one more G28 and we'll maybe just a glitch in the matrix, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It does what the colors have a mind of its own, but I still cannot turn on the nozzle lights yet. I don't know why. All right, so we're going to do that bed mesh clear first. All right, so that's done. Now let's do the end stop, Z end stop calibrate. So, it wants me to, nozzle touches a piece of paper on top of the build plate. Okay, so I need a piece of paper. I need a piece of paper. I always have paper around here somewhere. I always have paper. Oh, here's some paper right here. A big piece of paper. So I'm inching it ever so close. I don't have the rainbow bar. Come on, keep going down. I'm inching it ever so close. We are getting closer. Not quite there yet. Still got a ways to go. One is too much. Well, that's too much. Well, you can dial this thing right in, can't you? So it touches a piece of paper top of the build plate. If you go too far down, you can move the nozzle back up. Once you're satisfied with the nozzle height, run accept and save the config. I like just a little bit of drag. I think that's the right amount of drag right there. All right, so I'm going to hit accept. And now I'm going to run a save config. I just like to get that little bit of touch, and then I'm happy. So fine Z tuning. So I can create a macro for this in your printer config, so that's command, remember to run or Z down. Okay. All right, so let's home this now, because we've accepted that. Trouble. Okay, usually set mine pushing it back. Trouble. All right. Tim says set it a little bit heavier. Yeah, this is a lot easier. So we've done that. I haven't created a macro yet for it because I haven't done the screen. So now we're on to E steps, I think. Yes? Am I correct? We're on to E steps now? Okay, yeah, you should feel resistance to the moving both ways. Okay, yeah. I did. When I had my paper under there, I did have a little bit of resistance, which is something I always look for when I'm trying to level a bed. Okay, so I think we're there for tonight. I think we're there. If you've done A, B, C, D, and D, then yes, it's time for E steps. Okay, I believe I have. John, you came in right at the very end. I would listen to Tim, Richard. I do try and listen to Tim as much as I can. So now we're going to move on to E-steps, but I'm going to save that for off camera so that when we come back on Sunday, we'll have a screen to show. We may actually even have some of the sides on, maybe. And we can go ahead and start printing something, hopefully. John by my long sport call. I listen to Tim until he sings. Hey guys, thanks again for coming out tonight and joining me while I tinkered around with this thing. I'm not a guru when it comes to this stuff, but I am learning, and I'm going to keep learning when it comes to Vorons. Ask me anything about any other type of printer, I'm pretty much could tell you anything, but Core XY is still kind of elusive to me, and I am learning. And with the help of this community, I'm trying to learn even more so that I can help people that maybe are doing this just like you guys do. So until I see you guys next time, thank you again for joining me. I will see you here again on Sunday for Ask for Help at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. My name's Richard. This is the First Layer. And remember that the first layer is always your foundation to a great print. Until I see you guys again. Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom.